Evening, Matt. How are you doing?
Not so bad. How was you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. It feels weird doing this on a Wednesday. Like you weren't on last night, were you?
No.
So we were on. Obviously, did the podcast. So doing a Tuesday or Wednesday just feels a bit mad.
But normally Wednesday's only reserved if we played on a Tuesday, isn't it? So we've had no football and we're doing a Wednesday night.
That's it, mate. That's it. We've put this special little podcast on tonight, I suppose, because of we've got a very special guest joining us all the way from the US of A. But before we introduce him, Gilly, I know he's got a lot to talk about. He always has. Great chat with him last time earlier on when he broke the Weston news. So yeah, we'll run a bit of an intro, mate, and then we'll crack on.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
You look like fucking Brolin, you're a Leeds hating bastard.
Look like some sort of fucking weird floating head. No.
He's a utensil player a bit, innit?
I mean, I feel a bit right, dickhead.
Nothing spectacular, really.
Yeah, nothing spectacular, really. Well, however, this is pretty spectacular because we've got our American friend, Diego, joining us, also better known as 29. And those of you who are on Twitter will probably know him from his infamous tweets around the USMNT. I always get them acronyms wrong, man. I've got to get them right. He broke some obviously quite critical news earlier on in the season with regards to Weston and gave us a bit more of an idea as to what we might expect. So without further ado, let's get him in. He is tired. Diego, how we doing, mate?
Tired. Tired, bro. Tired from all the traveling.
Just tell us quickly, what have you been up to this week then, before we sort of start getting into the nitty gritty.
Past week, man, I was in Florida, Miami for work. There's a thing in Miami called Miami Music Week. It's like nightlife. Everyone in the industry goes to Miami, just parties for fucking 7 days. It's fucking crazy. Like literally, you don't sleep. And then after that, I shot up to Orlando for national team camp to join Wes and the boys and just mess around with them and then go see them. So, and then I went to Atlanta and LA overnight and then got back home to Dallas an hour ago. So I'm tired, bro. I'm tired.
Look, we appreciate you taking the time.
And I'm here, bro. I'm here.
You're here.
I'm here to report for duty, bro.
That's the main thing, mate. That's the main thing. You're here. That's it's. Last time I was like, before we got you on, I was like, he's gone fucking AWOL. Where is he? And then tonight, you were there ready waiting for me.
This time I waited in the lobby for you guys. I get so much notifications. I'm always on my phone. I work a lot on my phone. So like I'm just always on my phone but I know I always have alarm reminders that I got to do this at this time. So I was just waiting for 2:30 to hit, for whatever time it was last time to hit, and then I was gonna jump on. But yeah, I gave you a little scare.
Yeah, hey, but we know you're here. Anyway, so was that spring break you went to Miami? Is that spring break?
No, spring break's a different thing. Spring break's for college kids. Miami Music Week is just a nightlife industry thing, and hospitality groups and stuff like that. So,
I don't know what's going on.
It looks like YouTube's having some issues.
Yeah, people are commenting in the comments saying they can't see it live, and the numbers aren't looking anything like normal. So I'm imagining some people are struggling to get in tonight for one reason or another. But apologies for that. That's nothing to do with us. We've set everything up as normal. So yeah, we will continue. And apologies if you do miss any of this. It looks like
I'll just go on mute. I'll have a look.
Yeah, it's weird. Very weird. But yeah, can anyone see us in the comments or hear us? That'd be nice to hear. Before we start going into the good stuff, it'd be nice to hear what's going down. Looks like we're on now. Good stuff.
I see it.
You're on.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So you said you went up to where did you go first to meet the boys?
Orlando. That's where the camp was at. Orlando, Florida. It's about 4 hours north of Miami where I was at. It's a 45-minute flight though. So, but what killed me was going from the East Coast to the West Coast overnight, and then back to Dallas.
Right.
An hour. That's what killed me, dude.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So what I want to touch upon first things first, obviously the breaking news that you broke, and then I think every other credible source then followed suit was obviously the unfortunate news that we're going to be missing our Mr. Steele in central defensive midfield, if you want to call it that, who's been an absolute rock for us, really. Diego, he's not been in the greatest form recently, but since he's signed, I would arguably say that he's been our most important signing this season so far. So yeah, you broke the story, the news that he's had minor surgery on his hamstring.
Minor surgery on his hamstring last week. Kept under the rug by Leeds for obvious reasons. I actually don't know why Leeds kept it under the rug. It was going to come out eventually. I don't think they thought it was going to come out from the USMNT camp. But, yeah, so he had surgery last week and he's done for the season. No timetable for his return, but he won't be playing again this season. Best case scenario is he starts training the last week of May and he gets fit for the U.S. national team for their Nations League finals. But as for Leeds, I don't think we should expect to see him for the rest of the season. But he did have surgery, yeah. I know a lot of people, because days before I said that on Monday night, I was leaving the team hotel. Weston was going to sleep and stuff, so I was leaving the team hotel, and that's when I tweeted it out. It was around 3 a.m, and I know days before that, the Athletic dropped a story, or Leeds told that they were going to follow up with a specialist or something, but they didn't really know anything besides that, right? They were going to look into it some more, but they had already known that he was getting surgery. I don't know why they put that information. They already knew he was getting surgery. They knew he was getting surgery the day after the injury when the specialist said, yeah, he has to do surgery.
It's a bit berserk, isn't it, that the club has not been overly transparent.
They still haven't confirmed it. They still haven't came out and said it.
No, they haven't. It's come through an Athletic. It come from you, and then through obviously Phil Haight, the Athletic. I think,
and then it hit Sky Sports and every major media. It's hit every media in America: ESPN, NBC, CBS, Bleacher Report, SI. Every major outlet in America took it after Phil and the Athletic dropped it. Mainstream media in America took it, but they don't give me the credit, even though I'm the one who put it out there at 3 a.m. after the
I know. I woke up in the morning and just checked the DMs
because you had me we were DMing before the US game, and he was just like, hey, let me know if you know anything about Tyler's status. And then after the game, I DM'd him. I was like, oh, he's out for the season, bro.
Yeah, there was rumors, weren't there, Gilly? They weren't of any. They didn't. There was no solid rumors. I think
there was no. It was hearsay. There was no stories about surgery though.
There were rumors about, we think he might be injured, but it was all from the unconfirmed sources, and it was all from.
And it was all and this the thing with Tyler was it was all speculation, like what's wrong with him, how long he's going to be out. Leeds just said unforeseeable, the near future, or whatever the words that I can't remember what they said, but yeah, there was no concrete story on Tyler.
No, absolutely not. And I don't think had you not,
it would have. It still would have been out. It still would have.
No, I don't think it would. But my question around that is what, other than Grachia probably wanting to keep it quiet for future games, teams can set up slightly differently if Adams isn't playing, I suppose. And I see that as the only benefit. However, on the flip side of that, now they don't know what to expect from Weston or whoever fills that gap. And we'll come on to Weston a little bit more in a short while. But
that don't really hold anyone. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but the fact that you weren't going to be turning out for the US national team means that, well, okay, then we know that there's an issue with him because he's definitely going to be in the squad and definitely going to play for them if he's fit. So it was always going to be obvious to us, wasn't it? So it's a really strange situation.
You just didn't know the severity of it.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's what I was getting at.
Some people thought it was minor, like just a couple weeks, whatever. Dude, Leeds knew within 24 to 48 hours after he was withdrawn. So it was the morning that the U.S. roster was supposed to come out. That morning of training, he got hurt. Within 48 hours, Leeds knew that he was going to have surgery. But instead of coming out and just saying it off the rip, they played it down. They gave it the unknown, and that's what you got. Leeds and the USMNT have been running with for a week. That there's no really timetable for Tyler. We don't really know what's going on with him. But then I found out in Orlando what's going on with him, and I went and broke it, and then everybody else picked it up. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know why you guys decided to be mysterious with it. I really don't understand. I don't.
Not
know.
us. I haven't done it. Appreciate you breaking the story.
So, yeah, no, we appreciate that. I mean, he will be. I mean, Gilly I think Gilly's sort of sung his praises throughout the season.
He's my player of the season so far.
He's a tank. He's a tank in the defense. He plays just like that with the men's national team. He's a rock. He's really solid there. Think he has improvements to make, especially on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when it comes to positioning and defending and just getting the job done, he gets it done, and he's very gritty. So he gives you that little spark as well, that aggressiveness that you get from Americans. But yeah, I think he has improvements to make. But yeah, I put him in the top three of the season.
I think that's why we appreciate him as fans, because we've always liked that, a player that's willing to put the foot in and won't take any shit. He'll push people about.
He gets down and dirty for sure.
Yeah, he's a bit of a shithouse as well. And since Klitsch has left, Sorry?
Hold on. Am I still on here?
Yeah, we still got you.
Oh, okay. Someone was calling me, but...
All right, okay.
No, he's a bit of a shithouse. We've seen the where he kicks the ball into the other ball so he can't take the free kick. And we like that as football fans, I'd say. But it's not. It's probably just Leeds fans that probably enjoy the majority of that. But, yeah, I mean... He's going to be a massive.
Just one question while we're on Adams, just coming from Skip. He's just, if you know how many times Adams has been under the knife in his career, is it something he's gone through before?
I don't think Tyler Adams has a history of hamstring injury. I don't know. I don't know because he was part of the full cycle of 2022 for the World Cup. He was part of the 2021 Nations League and Gold Cup team. So that means he's been fit since 2020. Yeah, he's never had a major injury since 2020.
Yeah, before that
he's always been a part of the roster. So yeah, to my knowledge, he's always been fit.
I'm just looking at his injury record on Transfer Market. We've got to take that with a pinch of salt. But since 2020, you're right. But he did have a long spell out in 18-19.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. From 2020.
Yeah,
he's been fit. He's been fit.
Yeah, had a couple of problems with his adductor, which is I think your groin. One's the abductor, one's the adductor. He had a total of 122 days out and missed 12 games.
That was early in his career. Was he still at New York?
Yes, he was. No,
he was already.
Yes, he was. No,
I don't know. No, he was at Leipzig then.
Okay, so he was at RB. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was at Leipzig.
He came from New York at a young age.
Yeah, he did.
And he was a right back. He started as a right back.
He was a right back, yeah. I remember signing him. I remember signing him on FIFA 19 or something because he was like going to be, a wonder kid, and he did play right back. I remember, and he has become a wonder kid. We absolutely love him over here.
He's a good player. He's a good player. Just again, I think my thing with him is he needs to get a little bit better on the ball. And that's what a lot of American fans will tell you. He just needs to be better on the ball, and I think that's something he'll work on.
He's the USMNT captain, isn't he?
He is.
He is.
He became captain in Qatar.
Do you see him being a natural replacement if and when Leeds stay up next season? Because really, the chances are for us, Liam Cooper isn't our first choice centre back anymore, and he's the club captain. Do you see him as a natural replacement for him
as a captain?
As the Leeds club captain, we've got a couple of leaders. So we've obviously got Max Werber coming in this
Tyler
season.
Adams, yeah, I do. I believe in Tyler. I believe in him. He's just a great guy. He's a leader. Players follow him. So yeah, I think that'd be big for him to be the lead.
I'd agree.
Captain. I think it'd be big for him. And he has that. He's just always the first one to step up to the plate when it comes down to getting dirty. So you always want that. So,
yeah, lead by example, so to speak.
Yeah. So yeah,
he emanates a calmness as well, though, doesn't he?
He has my thumbs up to be Leeds club captain. Yeah,
I think the beautiful thing with him is he's not overly rash. I mean, some of his challenges are absolutely timed perfectly, and if they weren't timed that well, they could look quite rash. But he's not. He doesn't overcommit. You know, you don't ever tend to see him sliding from one side of the pitch.
That's the problem with Tyler is him overcommitting or sloppy tackles like a Casemiro at times. I think the problem that we have with Tyler is that sometimes it's unnecessary the way they react to fouls and get up and get unnecessary yellows, the pushing and shoving, which I get it. It gets the people going, but at the same time, you gotta be smart, right? And Tyler usually puts himself in positions where he gets booked early in the games just because he wanted to set the tempo, and sometimes you can go without that. Like we get it, like it's just an American thing. Like we get that you're like that, Tyler, but doing it every game and always getting booked, I think that's something he has to tone down a bit. That's the only problem I have with Tyler. Unnecessary yellows, always getting in scuffles. I think that's the problem.
We like that about him, though.
Yeah, you know, we if he picks up the 5 yellows,
and the problem with that is, with Tyler getting in a scuffle, you automatically have a second guy behind him that's going to follow him up and get a yellow as well, and that's Weston. So.
Yeah, I think I want to save the chat about Weston because obviously that's your closest tie.
Saying like, yo, it's when Tyler gets in a scuffle or when West gets in a scuffle, expect the other one to come in and get a yellow as well every time. You saw it with the Everton game.
Yeah.
So
I like that as well, though. You know, the fact that they're backing each other is great.
I love it. It's just sometimes it's unnecessary, and it's like now they can't play that aggressive in the second half because they're booked. And the Premier League refs, they're not shy to give out a second yellow. So it's just that's the only problem I have with the shithousery.
Yeah, fair point. Just before we move on to talk about Brendan, Gilly, do you want to just tell everybody about the challenge we're doing from the first quickly?
Yeah. So there was a shortfall in some of the donations that the Leeds United Foundation were earning. So just as a group, Luke, myself, I think we've got Bren and Carl from the pod. I think that's all from our side. And then we've got Big Lou.
Yeah, basically everybody but Smitey and Jay, the lazy bastards.
Yeah. And then Big Lou from LS11 is joining us. So we're under our own steam. We're making our way the equivalent of Elland Road to the Spurs Stadium and back from the 1st of April to the 28th of May. Which is 400 mile round trip, an equivalent of 7 miles a day that we've got to do under our own steam. I went for a run today. I did 2.2 miles. And I was blowing out my ass. So it's going to be a significant challenge for us to do. But we're doing it for a good cause. The Leeds United Foundation, they do a lot of good work in the community. They work with schools. They work with youth teams and so on. So it's a really good cause. And obviously it's linked with the club that we all follow, we all love. So it's a good cause. So we'll drop the Just Giving link, which is linked directly to the charity. So we know that every single penny is going directly across to the charity's account from the fundraising site. So we'll drop the link in the site and we'll let you know how we're getting on.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound that much. I mean, 29, what do you think of that? Do you think you could walk, cycle, run, row, or ski the equivalent of 7 miles a day for almost 2 months?
No. Fuck no. I was at my friend's apartment in Orlando while we were there with the national team, and he likes to take stairs over elevators, and I was dying.
And it was I met him at the top.
It was only 5 flights of stairs. He lives on the 5th or 4th floor. 5 flights of stairs, dude. And I was fucking huffing and puffing. So no, it's not for me. I leave that. I'll leave that to you guys. Cool. I would be in last place in this competition for sure. You'll be lucky to get 1 mile out of me.
Hey, do you know what though? You average. I think the average adult averages something around 2.5, 3 miles a day just by getting out of bed.
Don't know you're not doing it intentionally.
Yeah, exactly.
You're unintentionally just moving around to do things in life that you have to do.
Yeah.
You're not thinking in the back of your head, oh, well, no. I know that I walk a lot on a daily basis. I know that. But if I had to put my mind to do what you guys are doing, I wouldn't do it. No way.
Fair point. Which takes us nicely on to our little workhorse ourselves, the Medford Messi and Brendan Aaronson. Aaronson. Yeah. So we've got a mixed bag of reviews on Brendan for us, I think.
I'm aware because that's the same way on this side of the pond.
Yeah, I mean, just to talk about his recent performance for the US team there, he's been playing relatively well for you over there, hasn't he?
I think he did great on Friday night. Scored that great goal. Came off the ball, took one on, and sliced it right past the goalie. I think that was a great play of him. That's what he's capable of doing. That's the thing. He came in late against El Salvador on Monday night. Didn't really get on the ball much. But that was just because they were playing through the right side of the field, through Taylor Booth and Pepe, and Weston on that right side. So he didn't really get much on the ball when he subbed in. It was he came in more on Monday night for defensive stability because he drops a lot and he does defend a lot. He's not the biggest guy. You'll see him get pushed around, which again he got pushed around, but yeah. So I can't say much for Monday. There wasn't much there. But Friday night, really good performance from him. So, and I think he's been playing a little bit better ever since March left with Leeds.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And I've been very, what's the word? I've been very critical of him with Leeds. I love him. I think he's a great guy. I just talked to him on Monday night at the team hotel. We had a good conversation with him. He has the same agent as West and all that. So, we're cool. But I'll be honest. I'll be the first to tell you, I've been harsh about Aaron. I think he had a good start to the season. And then he kind of was just, stale, and then dipped form a little bit. But in the past month, he's been good for club and country. So, right now, I think he's fine. I think he's good. I think he's going to finish the season really well. And I think he's going to step up. I think he's going to step up these next 2 months and help you guys stay out of relegation. But he's good with me right now. I think Brendan, he's good right now. He's in a good form.
So when you spoke to him the other night, did you have much of a chat about club stuff, or
we talked about the situation with Tyler and just going forward. But he feels good. He likes it over there. We didn't really talk much detail about what you're asking. No. But I can tell you he's in good spirits.
Good.
He's in good spirits. And like I said, him and Wes got back this morning. They went straight to training. So they're back at it. They're going to play Saturday. I expect both of them to start. I actually think you guys are going to get a result on Saturday. Most Arsenal players were gone for international duty.
They were, and they've got a lot of injuries as well. We did a pod last night.
And I know you guys have injuries too, but shit, your guys were training. You guys, I don't know how many players did you send on international duty besides the Americans?
A lot of youngsters went out on
youngsters, but senior players, they were all, So.
Yeah, Cooper, wasn't it?
Huh?
No, Cooper, wasn't it? Cooper came on for the last 15, so Cooper were away.
Yeah,
with Scotland.
Before that, we had Nonto Warber, the American lads.
Noto got hurt. That one's bad too.
Yeah, and Verba, we're still, as far as I'm aware, I think we're still on tenterhooks trying to work out how bad that's going to be, whether they're both going to be available for the weekend.
Yeah.
I think you'll see Aaron step up. You'll see Aaron step up. I think you'll see Aaron step up. He's in good form.
Diego, just on Brendan, where do we? I mean, I think I know the best position for him, but where do you feel? And anybody who's watching, I know we've got somebody here from New Jersey. So if you've seen a lot more of him than we have, then please do comment. But where can we see the best Brendan Aaronson in that Leeds team? Where he does it for me? He doesn't.
Well, where's your preference? What were you about to say?
I think he's played his best football for us out on the right as a creative midfielder. But I think he would be better if we could improve him. He's still a young lad, he's got a lot of growing to do. He's still a great player. We've paid a good amount of money for him. I think he's got potential to be a very good central attacking midfielder. I think at the moment there's too many attributes going against him to be effective in that Leeds team now, playing there week in, week out. And we saw that under Jesse Marsh. Jesse Marsh played him there week in, week out, and he held onto the ball a little bit too long, or he bullied off it.
I don't think he's quick with his decision making.
Yeah, great. Exactly. I think that's what I was getting at.
Personally, for me, because there's so much talent at the 10 position at the national team. Gio Reyna is a star. Taylor Booth, he's a rising star in Netherlands and the Dutch league. He just got brought into the national team this past week. He's really good. He came on the game. He came in the game on Monday and changed it. So then you have Christian Pulisic, who plays out wide but drifts a lot towards the middle, so he occupies that space. So when you talk about him as a centrally from a national team perspective, we don't see him there because there's better options there. Mm-hmm. So for us, either side, that's where he plays best. To me, we think he's better on. He can play on both sides, left, right. It doesn't matter. He can play on both sides. So I think outside as a winger, I think that's where he can give you the most. That's my personal opinion. There's people that watch him more than I do. I watch when I can, but to me, from what I saw this past week, I think out wide, cutting into the middle, I think that's what he can. That's the best he can bring y'all. Playing out wide, starting out wide. In the middle, when I seen him play in the middle for Leeds, he holds on the ball too much. He loses it because he gets pushed off. Decision-making isn't there yet. So that's why I just don't see him as a number 10. But I know a lot of people say he's a number 10. I just personally don't see him as a number 10. I see him out wide. He's a good dribbler. He can cut in and get a good shot on target. He has a good strike of the ball. And he drops down a lot and defends. So you want that from your outside wingers to defend. Not every winger is going to drop down and defend. It depends what style of winger they are. But Brendan's one that's going to drop down every time and help you in defense. So, yeah, I see him as a winger. That's my preference.
Yeah, Gilly, what would you agree with Diego there?
I would, yeah. I think if you look at the form he had, that's been mentioned, that he had early in the season, he was playing there on the right for us, and he was, he was doing a lot of the chasing, a lot of the pressing, and regardless of how you feel about how the side was set out and what have you, looking at him in isolation and the impact it was having on, I think he got one against Chelsea, didn't he? That was through him pressing and closing down. Got a couple of assists early on, I think, as well. So in that first time when you think that somebody coming into a new country, a new system, a new league might struggle, actually he looked like he'd adjusted really quickly. But then after that, his form did dip a bit. But I think we've seen the best of him, I think, from the right, and I think that makes sense. If you look at Willie and Jack, one of them's probably going to be on the left. That it makes sense that's where Ben is on the right. So yeah, I think that's where we see the best of him. And again, I think if you're in the 10, you either need to have the nous and the understanding upstairs to make those decisions at the right time and release it.
I don't think he's there yet. I don't think. Yeah, I think that's where he lacks his game. That's why I don't see him as a 10, because his decision making is just, it's not there yet. It's not even at Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison, is that his name?
Yeah.
Harrison. It's not even at his level, Not saying Harrison's the best 10 in the world or anything, but he's a little bit better than Brendan on that in the final third. So,
and I think if you don't have that, the thing that you really need is the strength, don't you? And as you'd already said, we see him get pushed off the ball.
Get pushed off. Yeah, he gets pushed off. That's what I saw a lot on Monday. He got pushed off the ball about a couple times against El Salvador. El Salvador is a shit house team, dude. They're CONCACAF, man. So like bottom table Premier League teams do. They're just shit houses. So he got pushed off
like
the
us
ball
then.
a lot.
Like us.
Yeah, he got pushed off the ball a lot, you know. So yeah, I'll play him on the right side. Like I said, I've seen Brendan play on left or right, so he can play anywhere. But if right is his primarily position, yeah, that's where I go with him. I'll go right mid, right wing.
Yeah, here we go. I think this is the gentleman or young man or whatever from New Jersey. As a 10, he would be good on a team stronger than Leeds. Needs a better forward line to accentuate his creativity. He does need to be better decision-wise. I think this is the young person from
what's the name?
Philly. Zachary Lee.
Yeah, probably. I think he's one of them. Yeah. What else?
Yeah. So obviously, I probably watches a bit more, or has watched a bit more of.
Yeah.
Brendan.
The other thing with Americans, dude, they'll give you a real good input because you know they've seen Brent. Like Americans, they follow these guys from young age, you know, so they know
from Philly.
Yeah. So, and I think Brendan's from Philly, I believe.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably
New Jersey.
That's watched Brendan since he was in the academy. So
New Jersey, isn't he?
He was at Philly.
Philadelphia
Union though that it was at.
Yeah, he's from Jersey, but he played for Philly. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's the Premier League, playing in the 10 at Premier League isn't easy. You know,
it's not. And
great players have come here and
he was right. If you had a elite front three, Brendan could probably do it.
Yeah,
because then you don't have all the work rate on you at yourself as a 10. You can distribute.
Mm-hmm. You got players making different runs.
Yeah,
taking players away from you, and
they can help you out a lot. They take a defenders away from you. You know, at Leeds, you know, not the best front three in the world. Just with Rodrigo being out, you know, wingers being inconsistent, Sinistera or Jack or whoever it is you have out there, they've just been inconsistent, you know. They're good players, but they've been inconsistent. That's the problem with Leeds. Players are inconsistent. I think the talent is there to be a mid-table team, right? It's just inconsistency. And then that final third, that key decision making in the final third, it's lacking. And I don't think Aaronson's gonna help you out there. So put him out wide. Let him dribble, let him press, let him defend, and occasionally let him cut in and take a shot because he's good at that. And I think that's where you're gonna get the best Brendan Aaronson, coming from my perspective on this side of the pond.
Fair point. And I think as a fan base, we probably agree with the majority, if not all of that. So yeah, thanks ever so much for that. Right, we're going to come on to the main man, your friend, and Leeds loanee still, and future undecided. So I want to talk about that first. Leeds stay up. When we spoke earlier on, I think we agreed, and I think you said that it was an obligation. Leeds have to buy him if we stay up at £33 million.
I believe so. I believe it's an obligation.
So even if there's an obligation, the question that we've had from Alison in the comments is, would he be happy to stay at Leeds if we stay up? Especially as it was a Jesse signing.
I think he'd be fine. I don't. He hasn't had any. I haven't heard him complain, even after the Jesse situation. Yeah, he was upset because that's who brought him in, that's who picked him. But he knows the business. Game's a business, right? Coaches come and go. The problem with Weston is not him himself, just around him, is that he had about 3 different coaches in 3 different seasons at Juve, and then he came to Leeds. And the same thing happened again. He's about to have 3 coaches in 2 seasons and 1 season because you got Jesse gone, Javi might not stay. That's 2. Then you bring the 3rd coach once he's signed. Once you guys stay up, so
don't forget we had Scooby in the middle there as well for a few games.
Yeah, we had Scooby as well. So
he had assistant, but 6 coaches in 4 years is not good for any player.
No. And
that's the situation with West. So yeah, he was upset. I've said this. He was upset about Jesse being sacked 1 game in whenever he brought him in. That was his player. But it's a business, and he knows that. Things happen. He moves on, and he's been adjusting fine. So yeah, I don't from my perspective, from what I know behind the scenes, I don't think Weston will have a problem signing a long-term contract there. Now, do I think you can keep Weston for more than about a season and a half or 2 seasons? Probably not. Unless you guys put in a lot of money into the team and bring in a lot of signings this summer with the 49ers, then maybe what we're talking about a different story. But Weston's getting a lot of teams' eyes right now, playing in the Premier League and doing relatively fine. So.
Yeah, I just on that. I mean, we mentioned Weston and being signed as a Jesse Marsh type player a Jesse Marsh signing with certain promises I think made when he came to be playing.
Promises were made for sure. That's the problem.
You know, with game time probably and his positioning and where he was going to be playing. Now obviously we go into the upcoming games and arguably until the rest of the season without Tyler Adams. We now play a style which plays 2 pivots, and we know it's not Weston's favourite position. So that's I can understand that. Where do you think we can see? Do you think we can get the very best out of Weston in that position?
Check this out. The US finally have switched to 4-2-3-1 with this new coach. So, it was the first time we saw it this past week with the senior team. And they dominated the midfield. They dominated. Weston was the guy in the mid. So a couple months ago, when we spoke about the 4-2-3-1 and Weston playing a double pivot, we were unsure because that's not his position. But now we've seen a couple months at Leeds. Now we saw with the first team at the US, and we are 1,000% sold that Weston can be a really great 8 in a 4-2-3-1. He's not Tyler Adams. 2 different player profiles. He has played defensive mid for Juve sometimes. He can defend. He's played center back as well at Schalke, and he can defend and tackle. You guys know that. But is he a 6? No, not by any means. He's honestly a true box to box. And for the past couple months, we've been seeing that. This week solidified it for me and for a lot of USMNT fans that Weston can play in that role. And play possession-based football and kind of, pull the strings. Not like a 10, but, in between, a little bit of over the 6, a little bit under the 10. He can do that for sure. And he's very progressive as well. Weston likes to get up with the ball and attack. So, yeah, I think West, you're going to see a lot from West these next couple months without Tyler. I think you're going to see a lot. I saw it on Monday. He controlled the midfield. He had a beautiful assist. He sees things on the field that others players just don't. He has elite vision, and I tweeted out that night. That boy has elite vision. He just sees things. If you go look at the replay, he has the ball behind the midfield line centrally. He's looking this way. He plays the ball this way, but he sells the defense that way, and in half a second, boom, plays it right there. Half second, split second.
It was a great
No
assist.
one's expecting this ball because he's looking for a long ball. He's fooling the defense. Someone presses him and jumps up thinking he's going long ball, but he actually half second decides, goes on the ground to Pepe, and he just has elite ball vision. So, yeah, I think he can play in that position very well. He's proven us wrong. Even me being as close as I am, I didn't think he could play there. And he's just proven me wrong the past couple months. And Monday, I was just wowed at what he did. And then on Friday as well, 2 goals, and he played really well. So 2 goals and 1 assist from Weston at that role. Pretty good for you guys. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving forward, I think there's no denying that it does look good for us. I think I stand firmly that I don't think we've seen the best out of Weston McKennie yet at Leeds, and I think the majority of fans will say that he's been steady. He's worked really hard.
Yeah, he's had a couple games where you're like, okay, that's what he can do. Then he has a couple games where you're like, yeah, inconsistency.
Yeah, no, and I wouldn't even. I think obviously the game time thing as well. There was Rocker, there was Adams who made a formidable partnership. But what can we expect now? Arguably, he's going to be starting every game now.
For sure. It's going to push Weston, and I'm actually kind of worried about that because he has a history of injuries, especially with his groin. He has a lingering groin injury that he's just never been good from for years now. So it actually worries me. But, he looked good. He looked good this past week. So, we're going to have to just see, dude. He's going to have to play 90 minutes for the next 2 months. How many games are left? About 8?
11.
10?
We got 7 just in April, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're really if you're going to get the best out of Wes, you're going to get it in these next 2 months. He thrives in those situations. His best friend is out for the season. He's going to have to take that role. And so I think he's going to step up to the plate, and we're going to see him ball out, and he's going to do really well. And when the season ends and you guys finish in 14th, 15th place, you guys are going to be praising him and pushing for them to trigger that option as soon as they can. So yeah, that's my take on it. But he's looking really good, man. He had a really great camp. Feels good. He has a fever right now. He has.
I was going to ask you about that.
He played with the flu on Monday. He woke up with a 102 fever. It's pretty hot. 104. You get
what's that in harmony?
You get 103, 104. You got to start going to the hospital. So he was right under there. So and he played with it, and he was the best player on the field. We subbed in Ricardo Pepi up top, and he scored a goal. But besides Pepi and that goal, Weston was the best player. He was the orchestrator of the midfield. And he did that with a fever. So fever is lingering. I think he's going to cool down this week, but I think he'll be fine for Saturday. And he plays his best against the best opponents. So Arsenal, a team that wanted him, didn't pull the trigger, went with Jorginho instead. I think you're going to see West show them that they made a mistake. He's happy at Leeds, but he's going to show Arsenal that he's the better player, and he's going to give a stellar performance. I think he's going to be the man of the match. I think he might get an assist, he might get a goal, but I think you guys are going to get a result on Saturday. I think you guys are going to get a result. Even if you go to Arsenal and get a point, that's good.
Oh yeah. I'll take it now.
If ever we need players now, and it all sounds really, really positive coming from you, Diego, and it really sounds great. I think if ever we need players to stand up and be counted, when 3 of our most influential players this season are arguably out injured, not even arguably, but definitely out injured in some shape or form, whether they be minor or major. In Adams's case, it's now when we actually need to see these big performances from big money players. 33 million isn't a few quid, and what do we pay for Aaronson? Was that something similar? I think as well.
27 was it?
It wasn't far off, was it? And I still believe that both are absolutely great players, and you can see it in dribs and drabs with them. I think we need to now see it consistently, and we need to see the very best of them.
I think you'll see it from West these next 10 games, 1,000%. He knows he has to play. He knows he has to step up. So yeah. I'm sure Javi will be speaking with him this week and just going over the game plan. But because this is, like I said, Tyler got hurt, and most of your team is still there because they didn't go out for international duty. But Tyler got hurt, and West flew to America, so West hasn't been training with the team with Tyler being out. So he's been training with the U.S. team with Tyler being out. Same thing, but it's not the same profile of players you have around him. So 2 different profiles. But he had a little, I guess, a preview of what it is playing in a 4-2-3-1 without Tyler over here. So I think he won't have a problem adjusting, and I think he's going to play really well. He stepped up for Tyler this past week. So I think he's going to continue to do that over there at Leeds at a bigger stage. And so I don't have any doubts. He feels good. He's playing good. So we're just going to build on this past week and hopefully finish the season strong. I fully believe in it. I had some doubts about Leeds, man. I had some doubts, dude. I think you guys can understand. There was a series of results that were not going our way, and it was looking like relegation when we're in 19th place. But big win over Wolves, and so I hopefully get a point this week, and then get a win after that. So.
Yeah, we need to start. It's obviously the business end of the season now, which ultimately determines where we'll be playing football next season, in what competition and what league. And just on the back of that, we've had a question come in which might be related, but certainly from a Leeds perspective. First of all, do you think if the 49ers takeover happens, we stay up. Do you think there's Leeds potentially looking at any other US stars to bring over here and play for us?
The thing with American players is which profile actually fits your club. Maybe you don't.
Go on, say it.
You don't
say
need
it.
You don't need a 10. No, I'm not gonna say Christian Pulisic.
Yeah, say it. We'll have him.
I'm not gonna say Christian Pulisic.
I'd have him any day.
Christian Pulisic, he's out of Chelsea this summer, but it won't be to Leeds. I saw his agent at the game and at the hotel on Monday.
You're breaking Luke's heart here. He's had his heart set on that for about a year and a half now.
I've wanted Pulisic ever since the American connection. Honestly, I think he's a fantastic player who doesn't get enough respect at Chelsea.
I spoke with his agent on Monday at the hotel, and he's probably out of Chelsea, but it ain't gonna be the Leeds. It'll probably be somewhere in England. It's probably gonna be a Newcastle or a Fulham, something like that.
Fulham. Now that they're playing good football, and if they're playing in the European competition,
they want to keep them in Championship football and European football. So even if it's Europa League, that's fine. They don't want him. That's just the profile that Christian wants to play in,
Yeah,
and that's what his agents are going to go get for him. So
I think the issue Fulham will have is that Marco Silva's going to leave in the summer, and he's going to go to a bigger club. So with a new
Fulham
manager,
or Newcastle. Newcastle's wingers aren't really producing right now. They're just not. So
and they've got a lot of money.
Yeah, they got a lot of money, and Christian has a big salary to fulfill. So, but there's not an American player that I think fits you guys' profile right now. I just don't see it. I think you guys have the American players that fit you guys, your team. I don't see any of the American fullbacks coming to Leeds, even though you guys need fullbacks. And a player like Joe Scally or Serginho Dest would do good for you guys. I don't see them coming. I don't see any of the forwards coming here. You have Rodrigo, which is a big money signing. I don't see any of the American forwards coming here. I don't see the wingers coming here. So, yeah, I don't see an American player coming this summer, even with the 49ers takeover. I just don't. I personally don't.
So just on Dest, have you got any news on him? Because obviously it's been becoming quite clear now that he's not going to be staying put. Either club. Do you know where any ideas where he might be going?
Dest, we spoke on Monday. I tweeted the picture of us. Love him. We're literally just shooting the shit about everything. But yeah, his situation at Milan is it's not the best. I'd probably bet my house that he doesn't play this weekend. Like that's how confident I am after speaking with him. So yeah, there's not going to be any buy option from Milan on that end, but I don't see him coming to the Premier League to Leeds. But you know what? Maybe that's the thing with me. Maybe that's the one player that Leeds brings in. That's who I wanted to say, but it's because me and him had conversations, but I didn't really want to say it. I think that's the one American that Leeds could get.
I think that's one we'd happily take as well.
I think that's the one you guys can get. Honestly, if we're looking at like the whole pool of like 20 some players that make sense, Dest might make the most sense. He will be available. The problem with Dest is, and I spoke about this with him in detail. Barcelona's situation is tricky. We don't really know what's going on there. He feels he's better than Marcos Alonso and Sergio Roberto. He feels he's better than them. Hector Bellerin, he knows he's better than them. It's just for some reason they're in favor with Xavi. But he told me he has a good relationship with Xavi, and that if they're not in a position to buy a player this summer or have any money for fullbacks, he feels he's gonna stay there. So again, it's just like Juve. You don't know their financial situation, so you don't really know what they can do yet. So if they can't buy another player at his position, you might see Dest back at Barcelona playing, 70% of the season next year, and that's really good for him and for us. But if Barcelona says, you know what, we're just out of favor with you, that's cool too. He's fine with that too. He's fine with either way. And I think Leeds is a team that fits him. I think that's the one player that you guys can honestly use, and he would love to come here. especially.
And I think that's a position we probably will look to improve on as well. If we do start getting a bit of money, and we've obviously got Luke Ayling who's starting there at the moment, Christensen who's not really pulled up any trees, but I think Dest, because he can play right and left back, can't he?
He can play either side, but he's right. He's on the right side.
Yeah. We've had another question come in. Any news on Balogun?
Who's asking? What's the name on this?
Zachary.
Oh my God, dude! Of course, they want Balogun news. I already said what I can say, man. From my understanding, the feel inside the national team is that you guys in England lost a really talented player in him. So,
right. So he's going to be representing the US team, is he? Or do we not know yet?
That's the feel.
Or is it? We're not allowed to say
it. Zip. It's really zip because they want Balogun. They don't want anyone to break the news besides Balogun. They want Balogun to break it himself, right? But from around the team and around the federation, they're fully convinced that Balogun will be a player for the U.S. national team.
He did travel this week, didn't he? He went over to.
He went to Orlando. That's the thing, dude. He left U21 camp for England, left you guys high and dry, injury, and he was here. He was over here at camp training. So I'm confused where the injury came. What happened to the injury flow? But he had a good trip, man. He had a good trip. He loved Orlando. The national team and the federation feel fully confident that he's choosing them. You think you'll see a decision in the next couple months. I think he'll announce it formally on his time, but the decision will come before June, which is the Nations League semifinals against Mexico. What better game to debut for the United States than against Mexico in a final? I think that's what Balogun's waiting for. He wants senior team football in front of millions of people. What bigger stage than Mexico versus USA, the biggest rivalry, one of the biggest rivalries in the world, the biggest one in our continent. What a better way to debut, right? So the decision's going to come before June, and it's 99% going to be the U.S. I think he already knows. Just, again, nothing's confirmed, nothing's official. We're on Balogun's time, but that's what's going to happen from my understanding, being around the team and what the players feel and what the coaches feel and what the officials feel as well. But nothing's official. Nothing's official, though. Nothing's official.
I know your links are very much US men's national team, but we've had a question around if you know anything around the deal with the LUFC and the 49ers. Is it something that's spoken about a lot in America at the moment?
No. You know what's crazy? They reached out to me. One of the partners reached out to me.
Right.
After my whole West situation, they reached out to me, and we actually DM on a normal basis. I DM with one of the Leeds partners, one of the 49er guys. It's crazy.
Right.
It's crazy.
So is that you have got news, but we're not allowed to say anything yet?
I know that they're gonna invest a lot of money in the team this summer, if you guys stay up, for sure.
Yeah,
and there's gonna be 4 or 5 new players this summer.
Right. Bloody hell. And then the sort of a follow-up to that is, as somebody's just said, when the 49ers do take full control, they need to sign number 29 up for all his connections in the USA. All Leeds, aren't we? Leeds everywhere. A bit of love for you there, 29.
It's always love for the Leeds guys, man. I have so many Leeds followers. It's crazy.
Yeah, just good stuff.
I just got connected with Connor the other day, so he's cool. I don't know if you guys know Connor.
No, I don't.
Is that one Leeds?
Is that what?
Yeah.
Don't know him.
One Leeds. It's different podcast.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I think Luke's blocked.
We had a Twitter spat. We had a Twitter spat one day, and he blocked me. The funny.
I'm just listening. If Leeds fans, man, they love Wes. They love Tyler. Some days they love Brendan, some days they don't. I understand. He's been a little inconsistent, but so is the rest of the team. So
that's it. Lots to look forward to.
There's a lot that we're about to see in the next 10 or so games, man. We're about to find out a lot about the team. And really, the way I see it, coming from the 49ers, this business part of the season, this last run, this is a tryout for a lot of these players, man. Are you going to be a part of the team next year or not? And Wes's situation is if you guys get relegated, he's not. If you guys stay up, he is. Simple as that. So,
yeah, it'd be interesting to try and find out or understand a little bit more about the, I think it's reported in two different ways from everywhere. Some say it's some say it's.
I'll ask his agent for sure. But from my understanding is, as long as he plays a certain amount of games, which I think he has no choice but to play a certain amount of games now because of Tyler's injury, that equation goes out the window because he has to. As long as you guys stay up, it's obligatory. But then I've seen reports that it's Leeds' choice. I don't fucking know. But I'll find out, and definitely before the season ends, definitely get back on here and talk about it. But yeah, I just wish the best for my American boys over there, and just
and what we do, we want them to succeed. Obviously,
I want them to succeed.
They succeed, we succeed.
Specifically, Weston, I want him to succeed. He's just a great player. He deserves this. He's dreamed about playing in the Premier League, and now he's doing it. Hasn't been the best player, but he's proven he can play there, and he's shown flashes. And from what I saw on Monday night and Friday night, I fully believe that he's a Premier League centerman, a Premier League 8, and that he can reach that next level at Leeds. And we're going to see those flashes become more than just flashes in these next 2 months. So I feel confident. I feel good. I think West can be the guy, but he can't do it alone. He needs Harrison. He needs Sinistara, Rodrigo coming off injury. Just everyone needs to do their part, and I think Leeds will stay up. I know West will do his part.
Yeah, man.
I know West. He was in a situation with Schalke a couple years ago, starting off fighting off relegation, and he was their best player. So, that's what got him to move to Juventus. So
yeah. Look, as ever, 29. We really appreciate you coming on. It's been great to have another chat with you. Good mate of ours now. We can safely say from across the pond. We have got one last burning question for you before you go, and it was something along the lines of, "Come on then, 29. Do Leeds stay up?" Oh, that was it. Yeah. Something like, do we stay up? Full stop. Question mark.
I think so. Like I said, I think so. I think when it comes to player profiles, when it comes to the offensive side, not defense, I think Leeds' defense is a little suspect for sure. But when it comes from the center mids and the wingers and the 10s and the strikers, when you look at the teams at the bottom, you guys have the best core, the most talented core. You guys you don't get the results.
Nah.
And early in the season, you had leads and you lost the leads. And now it's coming back to haunt you guys. But when it comes to core, when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, from the mids to the wingers to the strikers, you guys have the most talent in that 20 to 14 range of Premier League teams. I think you guys have the most talent on the field. I just think it hasn't clicked yet. But I think you have no choice. It has to start clicking. It has to start clicking.
Yeah. Agreed. There's a lot of new players in there. There's a lot of youth in there as well that we've promoted recently. It's other than 2 or 3 of that attacking line. It's very much a new group, isn't it, Gilly, this season? And I think you're right, 29. We've lost points this season that we probably shouldn't have done.
You've dropped a lot of points losing leads in the end of the game. Last 5 minutes, man. So
Spurs and it comes to mind, and 1 or 2 others. We're in a position now where we really need not only the American lads, and not only we probably are going to see a lot more of them.
You're going to see a lot of Brendan and what you're going to see. I expect him to start every game. Yeah. Brendan, maybe not every game, but I expect Brendan to start majority of the games.
Interesting.
Weston, I don't see Weston being benched for the rest of the season. I don't know why he was benched a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what the fuck was going on there when they went with Tyler and Mark.
Yeah, that's right.
But reality set in for him that he's not guaranteed a starter there, and I think he knows that now. So now he has no choice but to start. But I think he took it personal. So yeah.
Well, anyway, we're coming up to an hour 29. Oh, as always, a pleasure. You know, you're more than welcome on here any time you like.
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to say to everybody before we let you shoot off?
Nothing, man. Just thank you for the love and support on Twitter, man. It's real. It's appreciated. That's about it.
Is your account unlocked now? Because I know that it was locked before, wasn't
now, bro. You know, every time I break big news, I got to go public. I gained about another 1,000 off that Tyler news. That was crazy. Guys, I really did it again. I broke again. And
yeah, but it was good news last time.
Some accounts gave me credit, but other accounts didn't. The Athletic didn't quote me or source me, and Sky Sports didn't source me. The big ones didn't source me, but the people that know, they know. They know that I tweeted that thing out at 3 a.m, dude. Season-ending surgery. And then mainstream media picked it up at 10 a.m. So the proof is right there, man. That was my story. That was my inside scoop. I gave it to you guys first. So, yeah. I mean, that's about it. Just thank you for the love and support. And just
can we see you in Leeds anytime soon? Are you getting yourself
over?
Man,
that's the thing. Weston still lives at a hotel, man.
No. Well, of course, there's no point in buying anywhere, is there?
Weston still lives at a hotel. So I told him, I was like, man, listen, bro. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see. I'm gonna wait for you to be a full-time player of Leeds, and you got a house, man. I ain't going to no fucking hotel. I don't even know there's nice hotels in Leeds.
Oh, I'm going to give you, Diego, I'm going to give you one last chance to rectify what you said the first time we met about who you liked and who you supported. So, man, who do you not like anymore, Diego? Who do we hate?
Manchester.
Yeah. And who do you support?
Leeds.
Yeah,
I'm always going to be Leeds, man. I'm always going to be Leeds. It's just, you know what? It's not that I like the club. I love the club growing up. I already said that because of Ronaldo. But I just like Marcus Rashford. I really do. I just love him. I love him. I just love him.
You're not going to get any sympathy on here, mate. I tell you.
I know. I just love him. He's such a good player. I've just seen him since he was young going up. And he had I don't know. Listen, Leeds is the biggest club in England. We know that. Most loyal fans. Most craziest fucking fans.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Don't ruin it about going on about that scum anyway.
I'm Leeds forever, but if there's one English player that I really like, it's Marcus Rashford, and that's really why I watch. I'm a fan of the game, and he's a great player.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
That's
fair enough, mate. On that note, thank you ever so much, 29. We will catch up hopefully at the end of the season, have a bit more of a chat, and hopefully you'll have had a bit more of a catch up with your friends over there and with Wes as well, obviously, and hopefully have a little bit more news. Maybe if anyone else might want to come and play for Leeds from over there, maybe. So
man, again, I think Des would be a good player, and one of the center backs, Cameron Carter-Vickers, I think CCV or CCV, Cameron Carter-Vickers. He's the best center back.
Was he at Spurs once?
No, he was at Spurs, but he went to Celtic, and he's going to be defender of the season. He's the best player. He's the best player in the league. He's the best defender in the league. He's head and shoulders above everyone else when it comes to center backs in the Scottish Premier League. I think he's going to get a Premier League move this year. So maybe him. Maybe a guy like Miles Robinson. He's a center back in the MLS who's really talented. He's going to Europe this summer. So there's a couple center backs that would fit the Leeds profile, and then Des. But offensive players, big name players on the offensive side, don't get too excited for that. Even with the 49ers, I know the 49ers will go for another American. Trust me. I don't know which one. I'm not sure that many agents want to bring another American here. It's just you got to look out for the player as well. It'd be good for jersey sales and views and stuff and ticket sales, but a center back or Serginho Dest, those are my two options for Leeds if you guys are going to sign in America.
And one more thing before we let you go, can you ask Wes if he'll come on the pod?
I can.
I know we have to go through club and everything now, but I suppose if he's happy to come on, then we have to ask the relative people.
I don't think you do. Not if I tell him.
Perfect. Get him asked. Give him my number.
Man, it's just everyone asked me that. Everyone asked me about Wes. I'm just like, I'll do it. Just has to be on Wes's time, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It was a little bit tongue in cheek, but if you can, great. You know, it's not.
It has to be on Weston's time, but I do have big plans this summer with Weston, so you know we might do stuff. We're gonna do some.
If you want to send an invite my way, I've got nothing planned this summer.
Man, we'll be in Vegas for the Nations League tournament, the semis and the finals in June.
Vegas it is. I'm already booking my flights.
Before that, we'll be in LA, man. So yeah, as soon as the season ends and Leeds stays up and the deal's official,
let's do it.
We go to LA, celebrate. We go to Vegas, get some gold, win that tournament, celebrate, and then go on vacation to wherever the fuck Weston wants to go. Weston loves to vacation. We'll probably do Miami. Then go to an island or something. But yeah, we just gotta handle business first. Gotta handle business first. And I fully expect Leeds to handle business. I fully expect Wes to be a big part of that. Aaron to be a big part of that. Wish Tyler a speedy recovery. He's my friend. He's a good dude. Wish him a speedy recovery, and I think he'll be back better than ever. Don't expect to see him by the end of the season. He might start training, and there might be rumors, he'll come back early. I know for a fact Tyler Adams is done for the season. That's
on that somber note.
Yeah, that's a positive note.
Yeah, a bit of a shit sandwich, but yeah, look. Thanks ever so much. Really appreciate it, mate. We will stay in touch, I'm sure. Anything else you've got, any news for us, then we'll, get it sent over. But again, thanks for taking the time out. Appreciate it. We know you've been traveling. Know you're tired.
I'm about to go to sleep for a couple of days, man.
Enjoy, mate. Thanks ever so much. Take it easy.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
See you in a bit. There we are, then. Thoughts? I mean, great chat as all. He can talk, can't he?
He can. He's a good dude. You know,
nice guy, really nice guy.
He gets close to the players. He knows what's going on, and it's nice to get that inside track. And do you know what? It's nice to get. I hope he won't be bothered about me saying it. It's nice to get that inside track from somebody that doesn't give it from a like a reporter's perspective, or somebody that's conscious constantly of the way that they're saying
it. How it is. He doesn't beat around the bush. You know,
appraisal. Yeah,
it's good.
I think that's a big deal.
I really enjoy getting him on. He's a really, really nice fella, and obviously becoming quite close to us now, and always offers to come on and have a chat with us, which is absolutely great, especially with the American connection. And should that grow moving forward with the 49ers as well, it's a real nice link to have. It'd be great to get him over and have a few pints with him before a game, I think, and get him absolutely steaming with us on all Leeds out wee beer. In the Peacock. Thanks to you all for commenting, joining us. One more thing to tell you about. We've got a couple of bits of sports memorabilia in a nutshell being donated by somebody who actually watches and does, I think, join in the comments from time to time. I won't name at this stage unless they want me to. But yeah, thank you ever so much for donating those. We're going to have 2 or 3 silent raffles on the memorabilia. All for charity. All monies raised will be going to Andy's Man Club. We've just had a conversation with them. I got it right. Plenty of bits going on. You're probably going to see me few pictures of Gilly and I, and a couple of the others struggling over the next 58 days from April Fool's Day, sweating it out in gyms and walking up hills and various other bits and pieces. So, look, thanks ever so much. As ever, we do appreciate you all joining in and having a chat between yourselves and totally ignoring everything we say. We love it. On to Arsenal on Saturday, and we'll have a couple of us back on either Saturday night or Sunday morning, I should imagine. Don't know who it'll be for your next episode of Berardi and Coke. Do we know who's on, Gilly? Or do we care?
I haven't checked. I'll have a look tonight.
Okay, I do it. It's not. It's probably me. I don't have a clue. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your evenings. Thanks ever so much again, and we'll see you Saturday or Sunday, and then back again the following Tuesday. Cheers.
Cheers.